doing, everybody? We're back on Zoom. Going to do a new show for us. We're going to do the roundup. That looks fantastic. Now, who's that?
Mate,
Ronaldo.
see with these midweek games, I need to wear a hat, mate. I look like Lechkov, mate. Used to play in the World Cup, man. My hair's all grown and I don't any time, mate. I'm so glad these midweek games are done, mate. Honestly.
You seen it the day, Spud? If you wish up a message saying he's glad, retweeted it, and a few people have commented on it. I think everybody's glad. Boys are just burst after a year out. They're absolutely burst having to play so often. But
we all love football, but it's heavy duty.
Oh, big time. It's a hard number on the body. So this is our first episode. We're going to do this every week, a wee roundup. We thought we'd start with the last midweek games. Before we get on to it, gear sponsor I mentioned, McTassos. Best grab about, we always say it. Dynamite, get yourself down, get into the Zeros, get to Kelvin Way and get to the fort and help them out because the food is top notch. Let's get Tor right into it, mate.
What's happening? You fancying yourselves a bit of Tomo, mate? Big Stephen Thompson, going for him in sports scene?
Well, I'll talk about that privately, mate. Right? It's phone calls are happening here and there.
Mate, you're more a Michael Stewart, but I'll get you that.
I take that, mate. I like Michael Stewart.
Do you? Fuck's sake, what's wrong with me? Right, mate.
Right. So, we'll start with the Premier League. I'll just go through the results. Talbot 1, Beath 1, Benz 0, Rossvale 1, Blantyre 1, Clydebank 3, Darvel 2, Meda 2, Hurlford 1, Cumnock 0, Kilburnie 1, Bonnet 0, Buffs 1, Cumbernauld 0, Robroy 0, Glencairn 3, Pollock 1, Largs 1, Troon 4, Glenafton 0. First up, Talbot and Beath, 1 each. Butch playing his old side. I think he actually got himself on last night.
Butch came on, mate. Butch came on and got a cameo.
Never will do him about that. But that's the Talbot's first points dropped all season. That's them sitting on 26 points. Sorry, no, a lie. They drew with Clydebank first game. First game they've dropped points in quite a while, we'll see. That's a massive one. It keeps it kind of quite tight at the top because they were looking like the potential to just start edging away from people, so that keeps them reined right in. It's a good result for Beath after a couple of hard defeats they've had as well.
See, I think we've been down there and Butch is going to be a top manager and it's going to be extra bit incentive for him going down to Talbot and that, and obviously to play himself and all, man. That is different gravy with Butchie, boy, honestly. But that's a great result for Beath. And see, being honest with you, it doesn't really throw Talbot off the rails. They'll just bounce back and go again. It's like a draw's not the worst result because at the end of the day, what the leagues are showing is there's not much between a lot of the teams and every game's a tough one, especially the midweek one. So they'll just dust themselves down, take the point and move on to the next one.
I definitely, mate. I think it's like I said, I've realised I've not plugged my headphones in. It's like I said, the Talbot was kind of starting to build up a right bit of steam. Beath have just kind of pulled them back in to help the likes of Clydebank out because that was looked at last night. Clydebank won 3-1 against Blantyre, which was an expected result. To be fair, it's been a hard season for Gibby.
I think you got to give Nicky Mr. Goals little a wee shout, mate, because he banked his 100 in last weekend and he's won our 2 last night. The guy's on an absolute fire, mate. Not I mean, and to be honest, Moff and guys and that are doing really well. What I love is, mate, is how competitive it is because you're seeing all the teams dropping points. You know what I mean? Whether it's draws or defeats, as you say, massive game at the weekend between Clydebank and Darvel, which is going to be an absolute belter, tasty affair. But no, it's tight, and that's what we did think for the very start. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that Clydebank are kind of a couple of games have dropped points and stuff, but have not lost a game yet. You look at the big one for me last night was Darvel being 2 up against the Meda and then drawn 2 each. That's a big one. I think Meda are always a good side, but I think they're just below that top 3 or 4 right now, but that's a massive result for them. And it's a wee dent for Darvel after having a couple of weeks out with COVID and losing to Co-Winning as well.
See Spenny and Latta, mate, they're going to make Irvine Meadow a real force, mate. You've seen me Meda's 2 last results, you know what I mean? They've drew with Clydebank and then obviously the result last night to show that character and come back. So Meda a good side, very good side, big club. So I'm not surprised because how many times you see it when teams go a couple of goals up and then you just concede that wee goal and then you start trying to hold on to what you've got and then you end up conceding an equaliser. So obviously we've not been at the games, we can't really tell how the games have went, but it's a good result for Maida. But Darvel the same as Talbot. They'll dust themselves down and they'll need to pick themselves up and go again. Mick will have them ready for Saturday against Clydebank, mate. But they'll take the point and then you move on. Last midweek game, innit? So
exactly. Staying at the top of the table, the Buffs beat Cumbernauld 1-0. Again, a result you would expect, but it's a big win. That games like that are important, particularly when teams like Pollock have drawn with Largs, particularly when the teams about you are dropping points. That's a big one to try and keep yourself right up there, get a couple of points ahead of teams.
Aye, definitely, mate. As I say, there's going to be loads and twists and turns this season. Definitely will be. But Arnie, good point for Arnie last night doing it Paul at Newlandsfield. You know what I mean? That's doing a late goal, late penalty. I seen it actually. I seen the goal and I'm caught in two minds whether that's is it on the line or is it just outside the box. I don't know if you've seen it, PG.
I've not seen it,
but it's definitely one worth debating. My mucker Ryan McGregor, I think makes a tackle. Could have been going outside. I think the referee originally gave it outside the box. But mate, listen, they're all big clubs and all good teams, and it's going to be a real fight at the top of the league, as well as doing at the lower end of the league as well.
Well, touching on that, you had Kilbirnie have 2 games in a row have picked up points after a really bad start. They've won 1-0 against Bonnyton, who are now bottom of the table, who Bonnyton have won 1 and lost 8. So there's definitely a gap between your kind of top sides who are very consistent and your bottom sides who are losing consistently. But that was a big point for Kilbirnie, definitely. And I believe that there could be an announcement the next week for the manager's job.
Aye, well.
But what has reached the ears of PG and Dackett headquarters?
See, honestly, Kilbirnie are a massive club, right? Kilbirnie were going to get a result at some point, and then now they've put 2 games where they've not been beat, so they'll have a bit of confidence in that dressing room, and hopefully with a new manager coming in as well, it'll give them that wee bit of jag and that wee bit of extra energy, and the boys wanting to impress a new gaffer. So wouldn't be surprised if Kilbirnie pick up a few results and start to kick on.
Definitely. I think they will. I don't see them sitting down there. They're too big a club. But before we move on, we're sitting with Talbot top with 26 points, Kilwinning second, tied with Clydebank 24. Then you get a wee bit of a gap with Pollock on 20, Darvel on 8, but Darvel got 2 games in hand on their team. So, like you said, Darvel, they won a couple of games, they're into second place. So, that's just a wee quick one. We will move on to Conference A, where it was 3-2 to Shotts against Bellshill. The Borough beat Glasgow Uni 2-0. Forth beat Lesmahago 4-2. Lesmahago are just completely pissing away on my prediction at the start of the season. I think they're just trying to lose games now. The highest scoring game of the night was Craigmark 7, Lugar 4. Maryhill were convincingly beat 6-1 by Arthurlie. Muirkirk continuing that relegation fight that I predicted for them, winning 3-2 against Girvan. Saltcoats beat Irvine Vicks 2-1, and Whitlets and Mabel drew 2 each.
Yep.
Now, looking at that, Shotts still winning games. They're doing well just now. They're just a point off Arthurlie, who are top after a convincing 6-1 win against Maryhill. But Arthurlie have a game in hand. They've won 8 out of their 9, drawn 1, so they're flying the now, to be fair.
Mate, see Arthurlie, the players have got came up against a few of them, man. Big Gary Smith up front, goal machine and all that. So, listen, I'm surprised they went to Maryhill 1-6. Was it at Maryhill?
It was.
I thought it was. I'm surprised they went down there 1-6-1 because Ross and his team have picked up some good results along the way. So to go down to Lockburn and score 6 goals, they must have put in some performance last night. So hats off to him. Again, Shotts, that's a great result because Bellshill management team down there have really kicked them on. They're a good side, so that's a good result, and it's a wee bit maybe a local derby kind of feel to it. So good result for them.
Craigmark, that's another one doing very well, mate. That was 7-4. You're right, mate. Just to touch on Maryhill, you're saying Ross kind of doing a good job. If you're looking at, they hadn't lost any of their first 4, and they've only won 1 out of the last 6, which I've not seen his interview yet. I quite like watching his interviews normally. I've not seen it yet. but even for a wee thumbnail on Mary's Twitter, he did not look like a happy man. Which shows,
listen, you're never going to be
No.
happy conceding 6 goals at home, but again, I think they'll be probably playing in the Scottish this weekend. So,
think so.
if they're playing in the Scottish, it's a wee bit of a distraction. It takes you away if you're thinking about league duty, gets you maybe into that cup mode, and then see just a wee win in the cup on Saturday for a lot of teams. It can kick you on, do you know what I mean? Because just that one victory or that one good performance of 3 points, it's amazing what it does for a dressing room, amazing what it does for a group of boys just to get them going again. And see, the thing is, I was talking about it just quickly last night. See, because the games are so thick and fast, I think we'll see a big difference in results and teams putting runs together when it's Saturdays now. See, now that gaffers can get in and work their boys 2 nights a week, and they can work on things and work on shape and different bits and bobs, and it's not as demanding on the legs. I think teams, you'll see teams doing a lot better, because see the amount of goals teams are conceding. It's crazy, and that'll all be getting addressed now that managers and coaching staff can get right in amongst their boys and get them working on things.
Last time we spoke about it on Tuesday night when we recorded our episode, it's going to be next Wednesday. How, like you're saying with that, coaches are finally going to get a chance to get back in and work with players. It's so hard. The teams are changing so much, and like you say, goals are happening all over the place. But I think there was only 3 teams that didn't score in the Conference A and B last night. You know what I mean? So you can see the amount of goals that are happening. Just a wee quick mention before we move on to Conference B. To Saltcoats beating Irvine Vics 2-1. Saltcoats get their first win of the season. Irvine Vics still looking for theirs, who are now bottom of the league with 1 point.
Saltcoats. They get a good result on the Saturday against Girvan 4-each. I think they do it. So I fancied them to go and pick something up, but that's half to Saltcoats. That's a good one for them, especially with 2 teams down there. Mate, it's a good result.
It's a big one for them. But you see, Irvine, they might have like you're talking about the teams playing the Scottish, got a distraction. Irvine Vics are playing the Meda on Friday night.
That's right.
Right, so that's a good distraction for them as well, you know what I mean? Because form you expect the Meda to win, but form kind of goes out the window in that game. That's got a big game.
Aye, means a lot of the people in Irvine that game. The fans are both threats anyway.
Definitely. Sadly, I'm on night shift and we can't go down and do a wee bit on it.
I know, mate.
So, Conference C, we've got the Drummer beat Vale leaving 2-1.
You missed it. You didn't B?
I missed it B. I just went straight on.
Fucking hell, where did I find you?
Do you know somebody that's involved in Conference B?
I do, mate. Aye.
Yeah, I hope so. Right, Conference B. Ardere 2, Darvel 2. Carluke.
No, Darvel. Dalry, mate.
Yeah, I'm having one.
You are having
mate,
a
I've had a busy day. It's late at night, man. He's a fucking.
Where's Branko doing? I'll do these with Branko for now.
Who's Branko? Never heard of him. So, we'll rewind. Ardere 2, Dorai 2. Carluke played some wee tissue mob and lost 3-2. Gartcairn 2 each with Glasgow United. New Mains another heavy defeat to Cambuslang, 8-2 to Cambuslang. Renfrew beat Greenock 3-1. Royal Albert lost 3-0 to St Cadoc's, and Thornleywood beat the Port 4-0. Big one, first one we're talking about. No Darvel, Dorai. Ardere and Dorai 2 each. That's Dorai's first point of the season against a team who have been absolutely flying as well.
See the big thing for me, I know we played Dorai and we won well, but Dorai were always going to, as I said in the previous division, Dorai were always going to turn the corner at some point, and they were always going to get a good result. And it's just been with Sean's team. I think Sean is. He said that a few times. They've punched above their weight. What a job he's done. He'll obviously be disappointed. They've not been at the game or seen it, but with people looking at paper. But I'm delighted, to be honest, for the Dalry supporters committee, the management team, because they've took a couple of heavy defeats as well. So for them to get something, it's a building block for their team and their club. And I seen they've added a couple of players as well. So they're probably doing a lot of work behind the scenes where you'll see a pick-up in Dalry's results. So I wouldn't be surprised if they start picking up results and maybe try to move up the table. They've obviously played well last night, because going to Ardere and getting a point is a very, very good result. But again, I think Sean's class. I think the way he talks after the games is brilliant, man. I love to see it. So No, same again with them. They shouldn't overthink it because they've done amazing and they're sitting in a pure amazing position. So, that dressing room, they'll kick on again as well. And brilliant for Dalry again, as I said, because it is hard and their management and their committee and that were brilliant with us when we went down and played them there a few weeks ago. So I'm delighted for them because they were really good guys, you know what I mean?
I'm not going to lie, I think that, and I apologise to Sean for it because he's a good guy in that, but I think our deer are starting to a wee dip. That's them. They have dropped points in 3 of the last 4 games. I think that they have been punching well above the weight. The start they had was incredible, and it's been really good for them in the sense that it's gave them a wee buffer to get.
No, but they beat Greenock a bit, man, last week. So it's not as if they're no.
Aye, but you're saying that, but they drew to each with a team who have conceded 47 goals in 9 games.
And they drew with us.
Exactly, and usually a lot of players missing. They're on the way down.
But it's
I think they're going to. I think that's a wee dip in form they're going to have, and I think that I still think they're a good side, and I think they will beat a lot of teams in the league. I just think that this could be now that they're getting the league's kind of starting to take shape. I think they'll start to drop down a wee bit. But I'm not saying they'll drop right down or anything. I just think they'll drop down a couple of places.
It's still a good side.
Of course they are. But I think that you're starting to see some points being dropped.
Yep.
On to yourselves. That was a big win last night. He's particularly scoring a late winner.
Big mate, I'll be honest with you. We went out with a shape and it didn't work. We went 2-0 down. Fair play to Gaffer and Riser. I'll not take any credit, but I myself as well. Then changed the shape. The boys responded well. Got back to 2 each, and then we've scored with the last kick of the ball. See, to be honest with you, PG, the boys have deserved that because we've conceded a few goals late to draw games. So they were due that wee bit of luck. To be honest with you, Carluke had a few opportunities at the end as well. Listen, we're delighted to get a result. That's 2 in the bounce with the Newman's game on Saturday and that. And then, as I say, it's a good distraction for the boys, a cup game at the weekend. And then we can kick on to training next week. But no, delighted, mate, because it's not an easy place to go, especially, don't know, it's been quite documented. The setup there, they're not letting into changing rooms. It wasn't the best preparation. And listen, that's for both teams because Carluke need to deal with that as well. And I think it's pretty pish the way they're getting treated as well. Because at the end of the day, that's their own party. So
that's shite for the council.
Listen, great result. Big Sean Docherty. Wee Ryan McManus now for his up front's doing really, really well. He's scoring goals, man. He's been excellent. But listen, the boys have got to dig deep. For 2-0 down to win 3-2, we're happy with it.
It's a good result. Can I actually start to climb up the table a wee touch, which is good because last season, obviously, season didn't finish. He's quite low down, which obviously knowing these, I think it was a bit false. Now you're starting to see a bit more what he's like. But even for me, I still think he's got a bit more in the tank to go, and I think he's also beat some more teams. Right, moving on. Garth Cairn drawing 2 each with Glasgow United.
Yeah.
For me, Garth Cairn, they've only lost once this season. That was to St Cadox, which there's absolutely no shame in that. It's a team that's up there with them. But I think that if they've got any aspirations, I think to win this league, they need to stop dropping points. They need to really kick on. And we've got them on the show on Wednesday, so you'll see a wee bit for what they're saying to it. But I really think they need to start kicking on because I think they should be doing a wee bit better than they are.
Mm-hmm. Good result. Glasgow United, they've picked up the last couple of weeks as well. They've done well. Shelton, that's got them gone a bit. They've had some positive results. I agree. I think that, to be honest with you, we're speaking to Millsy and that anyway. I think that they agree with that as well. They're disappointed to be dropping points, especially at home. I think they've been dropping up a couple of draws, a few draws at home. So, listen, Millsy and that are brilliant, different class down there. And I really hope they'll do well. And I know that they'll do well, but I know that they're having a hard time with injuries. But listen, mate, they're a good side. They've got good players. You know what I mean? Good players will always come good in the end, you know what I mean? It's once they get a fully fit squad back, they'll be fine. But it's a good result for Glasgow United and Garth Cairn again. They've not lost the game, do you know what I mean?
That's it. They've only lost one game. It's just too many draws at this stage for them.
They'll come all right.
The bottom teams, Cambuslang beating Newmains, which would have been predicted, quite a heavy defeat. Newmains still to pick up a win. Royal Albert, who lost 3-0 to St Cadox, still to pick up a win. Dalry, even though it was their first point and a really good point to get, still to pick up a win. So they're all sitting on 3 points. There's a bit of a gap between them and Carluke, who are 4th bottom. So it's a bit of work for Rory.
The boy, mate, probably the informed striker at any league. You know, the boy Williamson up front for Cambuslang deserves a shout.
He's flying with it.
I think he scored 7 or something, do you know?
Is that many?
I don't think he did. In fact, it wasn't as many as that. I don't think, but I think he scored quite a few last night. But I think he's sitting on like 17 goals this season already. So, mate, see Cambuslang, mate. If you're losing the first game, the response that they've done, brilliant, mate. They're absolute flying and
a lot of experience in that team.
A lot of experience, good players, and they're scoring a lot of goals and they're looking quite solid at the back. So they'll be a tough nut to crack. But the other teams I know, I'll just keep plodding on in it and just try to pick up points.
See, the thing is, it's hard for your new mains Royal Alberts to rise because this isn't their level. They'll find their level next year when they go into the leagues, and then that's when you start seeing these teams being more competitive. So it's quite difficult for them now because they're not going to be in a league with Cambuslang.
They'll get better, PG, as I keep saying. With the midweekers away, the teams will get better, mate.
So moving on to Conference C.
Yep.
The Drum beat Vale Leaving 2-1. Kilsyth beat the Rock 2-1. Lanark and East Kilbride draw 2 each. Larkhall and Wishaw draw 2 each. Petershill beat Vale Clyde 4-1. The Ants beat Neilson 1-0 and Yoker and Ardrossan draw 2 each. So a lot of points dropped in this league.
Mm-hmm.
The Drum, they're still kind of gone really strong now. Get a game in hand on the Rock. The Rock will be really disappointed losing last night after having such a good win at the weekend against the Drum. So they've kind of thrown away that big 3 points that they had for Saturday.
Mate, it's a tough game to get down to Kilsyth and see, to be honest with you, Kilsyth having that might be the result to kick them on because they've not probably the start that they're thinking that they should have, because I fully expect them still and at the start to be there and thereabouts. So maybe that'll just be the catalyst for them to kick on. It's a great result for Kilsyth. Gutted for Candy, and obviously I know I've just seen that seen the gaffers obviously get COVID down there at Candy, Paul Kelly. So
have you seen Dawn Barry Russell on Twitter?
I do Dawn a joke big time, man, especially if it's an away day. You know what I mean? You'll be conducting everything on that bus. But no, listen, I wish Paul all the best, obviously with COVID, and hope he gets well soon. But gutted for the Candy, but see the Candy, they can be proud because they didn't have the best start after the first couple of games, and they've got themselves up near the top of the league. So they'll have their good cup day, away day on Saturday, and then they'll kick on again. Drum are very strong. Hope doing a great job there. Good result for them, the Vale Leaving. And who was it? Who else was it you were talking about?
We've got Wishaw drawing with Larkhall again. More points dropped for Wishaw.
The big one for me, sorry for the rest of the ones, the big one for me is the Ants beating Neilson. What a result that is. I think Danny and that are obviously going to be over the moon with that. So I'm just coming. That's me getting shouted for my dinner. Danny and that will be delighted with that result, and they'll kick on. They're doing well.
The Ants have won 3 of the last 4 after a really shaky start. They've definitely picked up. I think Danny and Kush are doing a decent job now. They're starting to obviously find what's working for them now.
Neilson are a good side, so that's a very good result for them.
But to be fair, if Neilson had won last night, they would have went top.
Aye, but listen, there's plenty of more twists and turns to come this season. Know what I mean?
Aye, down the bottom you've got Yoker, Vale Clyde, and Vale Leaving.
Vale Clyde, mate, I'm gutted. Mark's moved on. Know what I mean? Because I think Mark's a great young manager. So I shout at him because I know he's putting a lot of effort on and off the park down there. Yoker, I'm surprised with that as well. So they'll come.
See, to be fair, there's only 2 points separating bottom to 5th bottom in that league. So one win fires you right up. It's not like in Conference B where there's quite a gap between the bottom few teams and then what's above them. No. I think the Drum big win 2-1, especially after losing the Rock. They'll be really disappointed after their big win.
It's early days.
But it didn't mean I'll not be disappointed. Vale Clyde losing 4-1 as expected. Petershill are kind of right up there. I think they're quietly going about their business. Ants great win. Everything else is kind of expected. Hopefully Wishaw pick up for our mate Spud because he's not having the best of times the last few games. Hopefully it picks up. But that's us. Our first ever roundup. Just something short and sweet. Dak's dinner's there. He's got to go and get it. My wife will get it.
Doesn't often make me the dinner in here, so I need to take advantage of it.
You go and do that. I'll I'll deal with Mrs. Gordon, who
Right, okay.
took my
She's
daughter to bed.
later, right?
She's not particularly happy with me, right, mate? See you later
See you
on.
later,
Hope you
right.
enjoyed.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.